This video tutorial walks you through creating messages and sending messages using heartell for Windows Phone 7. heartell introduces peer-to-peer voice messaging and CB radio style communications to your Windows Phone 7.5 aka Mango device, and also supports sending messages and receiving messages through a web browser interface by navigating to the site beta.heartell.com and signing in with your username and password in there. You will also be able to send messages and receive messages from the heartell network. Let's go ahead and show how easy it is to create a new message using heartell. Simply click on the new message button, and from here you have several choices. You can hit this plus sign right here if there's no data in there, and you can basically find a user that's in your contact list. And what the heartell will do is it'll take the email address from that account and it'll do a search against our network to see if that user exists. In this case, the user does exist. Cancel to remove that. You can actually also just type in the name of a user. So what I'll do is here I'll type in heartell, and hit the plus sign, and it'll just prompt you to let you know that what you've entered is not an email. You can also enter emails into that box. When you say OK, it does a search and it returns back with the heartell user. So as you can see, here's the account information, and here is the here's the user's details for their main details. Basically, it's like their blurb essentially. And when you sign in, we show the registration process. You entered a main heading and a main blurb. The main blurb shows up when a person searches for you. The main heading shows up whenever you're communicating with that user. You can save this locally. As you've seen, I showed saving another account that I saved locally, and this will just allow you to create the account and store it local to your device. And once you're ready and you found the user that you're looking for, you simply hit the button and it takes you into the conversation view. So as you see, the main heading shows up there, heartell employee, their picture shows up, their username shows up. You have options to remove them as a fave, refresh to user, save the user locally again, and disconnect. You cannot communicate with users that you're not connected to. You can think of a connection as a friend request or friending someone, so to speak, on Facebook. Basically, it's an open channel that allows us to allow other people to communicate with you, and it's something that you have to accept from each user, and it's a way that we prevent you from receiving unwanted messages from people that you don't know. To send a message, you simply press on the microphone. You'll notice the animation that appears. You have an arrow on one side and a ball on the other side. They spin around, and when they meet back on top, you've run out of time. You've got 20 seconds for each recording. Once you're done with the recording, you let go. Letting go sends the recording. The recordings are sent in the background, sent off to the server, and when you don't have push notification enabled, which on this account I don't have push notification enabled for this device, messages will be polled every 30 seconds. So it'll take some time for the message to return. If you're still on the conversation view, it'll just play the message automatically. If you're not, which I'm navigating your way now, then you'll get that prompt. You can click that. It brings you right back in there. You'll notice the animation that appears. You have an arrow on one side and a ball on the other side. They spin around, and when they meet back on top, and the message is played. You've run out of time. You've got 20 seconds for each recording. Once you're done with the so it's that easy to send a message. In this case, I'm sending the message to myself. This is enabled, and I'll show quickly how to enable this functionality. If you slide over to the settings area, click on settings, you must have this initial item checked, receive and play messages I broadcast. And in a separate video we do go into all the options here, so I won't go into them. But this must be enabled for you to hear messages that you are sending. Otherwise, we simply ignore those messages. Once you have started a conversation with an individual, the conversation will show up in this recent messages list, so that you can go back in and continue the conversation. It'll show the time when the message was sent. In this case, it's in 24-hour time. As you can see, also you'll get the username and the main heading of that user. So to continue a conversation with the user, you can simply press and hold. That takes you right back in. It will play the last message that was appears. You have an arrow on one side and a ball on the other side. They spin around, and when they meet back on top, you've run out of time. You've got 20 seconds for each recording. Once you're done with the so it'll play the message back every single time that you open the page. And if you want to get a view of all the messages that you sent to that user, you simply press on the user's image, and that'll take you into this view where you can see messages that were sent in chronological order. So as you can see, here's all the messages I received yesterday from this user, here's the messages that I sent today, and here's the message that I received back from him. And you can play any one of these messages.
Microphone,
so
you'll notice press and hold. You'll see that microphone, you'll notice
and that's it. It's that easy to send and receive messages using heartell. Once again, heartell's peer-to-peer voice messaging and CB radio style communication for your Windows Phone device, and is also available on our website at beta.heartell.com. Simply sign in with your heartell username and password, or register there and sign in on your phone, and you will also be able to send and receive voice messages to anyone that's in our heartell network. Thank you, and good talking.